Hello, game masters and adventurers. I'm Will, and I'll be your dice meister for today, but you can just call me a DM for short. That's a wink, and that seems really awkward, but I'm going to keep going because this is the first episode and things will get awkward. So, today's system, I am considering a no excuse for people who don't have enough time type of system. It's very, very, very minimalistic, but it still packs a really, really interesting punch. I'm coming at this from a fresh perspective. I could count the amount of times that I've actually game mastered or dungeon mastered like a campaign on both of my hands. So think about this from a novice's perspective, a person who's looking at these rules to see whether they make sense to a newcomer, whether they're easily explainable, and hopefully that encourages people who are just starting to say, okay, these systems are things that I could implement in my game. The problem when it comes to trying to invest in any of these games or play a campaign where I live or who I live with is just three major things. They don't want to play because they're not interested, and I can't help that. I get that. But for some others, it's just there are too many rules. They don't have time for the rules, so it's a time constraint. They don't want to invest so much time or money. And I get the last one. Some of these modules for Dungeons and Dragons are really expensive, and sometimes you just don't have enough time to make a campaign or invest so much time. Then maybe a system like this will help. The system that we're going to be talking about today is Tales from Mordhearse, a hyperlight system that it should be readily accessible for anybody. And I will leave a link in the description down below if you would like to download this. And side note, please, 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 with any of the people that I am talking about who have created these systems, please give them a donation if you're interested in downloading their stuff. Some of this stuff will be it will cost money, but for the most part, you can opt out of that with some of the systems that I'm talking about. But even if they do cost, they're only going to be things like $10, maybe $5, and even as low as $1. I will leave a link to the price and the link to where you can go and download all of the content that I'm talking about today in the description down below. So let's get into it. Most people will try to use the excuse of it takes too much time for character creation, or it's so much rules that I can't even wrap my head around it. I'm just going to keep procrastinating and holding it off. I'm interested, but I'm going to be interested in it from afar. I can't be a Matthew Mercer, and nobody should try to become a Matthew Mercer. Become your own GM. But if you want something really easy, how about a system that only uses one dice? You got a Monopoly game? You've got all of the dice that you need for Tales of Mordhearse. What do I mean by that? How does character creation work? Well, you roll a d6, and that's your class and your health. 1 through 2 is wizard, 3 through 4 is burglar, and 5 and 6 is your warrior. Now, you might be thinking that seems a little ridiculous, but this is not a dungeon delving, slashing, hacking, slashing. You're going to come out of this looking like John McClane type of system. This is a, I hate the fact that I have to use this, but this is a Dark Souls system. Prepare to die a lot. The fact that as a wizard, the way that you use spells is you use your HP. So you've either got 2 or 1 HP. If you got 1 HP, don't use spells. Wait till you level up, and then you get some health once you level up. But you might only be using 1 spell and then healing and then using another one. Wizards stay at the back of the group. Burglars, they get the benefit of having tools and equipment and sneaking up on people. There are some benefits to being a burglar, but the person that you're going to want at the front of the line is your warrior. And what do I mean by that? The way that you accomplish anything is rolling under your health. So if you're rolling under your health, you're going to want to have the highest health. So if you want to jump over a bridge or jump across a ravine, you're going to want to make your warrior do it first and then find a way to get across with the other bits of the group. If you're going to want to fight a monster, which the thing about this system is you're never going to want to fight a monster. You're going to want your warrior. The thing that I do like about systems like these very prepare a lot of characters in advance because you are going to be going through them, is that it builds attention to every single dungeon, to every single encounter. It makes the interactions with this world more realistic. Who decides to just plow through an army of people who might be just as strong as you with, I don't know, a stick? Nobody, or even a sword. All of these interactions, every single corridor could lead to your demise. And that's something that builds the tension for this system. I haven't even played it and I know that that's going to be the case. Why? Because the character sheets, bam, there you go. You have 4 on one page. What does that say to me? Well, it says that there's not that much to character creation, but it also says that you might be going through a couple of characters. Set some up in advance. So setup for this game is relatively easy. Just print off 3 or 4 character sheets, like the pages, get 1 dice, and then start. Now people will say, oh, but there's 2 pages in this entire system. Not really, because whoever created this is a godsend because they gave you a campaign to start off. Well, technically it's just a small dungeon, but it helps you put your feet in the water as a new GM, and I really appreciate that. So if I had to rate this system, I would give it maybe a 16 or a 15 out of 20. That's a... Yes, I am basing my rating system off of the D20. It's a new... I don't know if I'm going to keep that, but that's what I'm doing for right now. If you want to check out this system for yourself, links in the description down below, and who knows? If this channel blows up, then maybe I will run a game of Tales of Mordhearse, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe a little live stream, maybe I'll do it on Twitch, who knows? But if you like this stuff, you know what the YouTube deal is. Just do all that. If you hated it, thumbs down, natural one. Anyway, I'm Will. I was your Dice Meister, and hopefully I'll see you next time.